Follow Equestria Brotherhood by Knuckle Wolf. Chapter 23 Hooves of Steel and Iron. This is my mech. There are many like it, but this one's mine. Nothing left but the smoldering, decimated ruins of our cannon. Legion soldiers carried the corpses of both their dead and the Arcanan rebels. Then Legion soldiers, though, would be stripped of their armor before being cast into a pile of burning corpses. The dead townsfolk were lined up side by side in the middle of the road, lying down with their foreloads put at their side. Across from the townsfolk were fallen higher-ranking Legion soldiers. One of the dead officers lying upon the ground was Cyrus, his body separated further away from all the other officers, as during the battle one night ago he had betrayed the Legion for his own self-gain. His ignominy would be shown even in death by being separated from the very troops he once commanded. Vladimir stood over Cyrus, glancing down at him in disappointment. Yet a hint of regret stirred around his stomach. He wasn't sure why. All he could say, though, while looking through the trailer was, "Pity. You had done such an outstanding job along the border." While he was speaking to Cyrus, his newly promoted Captain Comfort tried up to him. Without looking to Comfort Vladimir, he continued to stare down the course of the trailer. "Do you find anything useful?" Vladimir asked. Comfort shook his head. "Unfortunately not, my lord. The town's residents have managed to take about everything with them." "What about the tenor? Surely we found something from that." "I'm afraid not. The whole town will collapse, so for all we know it could loop around and come out somewhere completely different." Vladimir let out a frustrated sigh. "Very well. However, did we discover who the supposed guardians were? I would very much like to know how they passed our perimeter." "We found nothing on them, sir. Even if they did die here, many of the bodies we found inside the buildings were burned to an unrecoverable state." "This is all rather disappointing," Vladimir muttered while scanning the story channel around them. "This place could have been so helpful in giving supplies to Ironhammer. Pains to me to think of all the lost potential this town had." "Yes, my lord. Truly a sad loss for us. Though, what are we to do now? The bodies are almost disposed of, and now the townsfolk are gone, our cannon does not need us anymore." Vladimir chuckled once. "Send the soldiers back to the dark mines with me. Those that don't come with me, send them back to the border. I've heard that Big Lot got lazy what's needing the border troops. I'd very much like to see how you perform as a commanding officer at the border. You've shown rather excellent skills as leader, and I'm curious as to how you perform." The captain's face was awestruck with shock. "You mean it, sir? I'm going to become a commanding officer at the border?" "Yes," Vladimir said in a low, dull expression, before making his way to the Arcanan gate. "While you're up there, make sure that idiot Big Lord doesn't sack up too much. The next thing we need are Steel Rangers, or Red-Eyes forces coming into our land." Covert gave Vladimir a stiff salute while looking at him. "Hold it down, sir!" Vladimir stalked to the gate, and looked down at Covert with a devilish smile. "I hope you can live up to those words. Cyrus's fate was most unfortunate. I would hate to see a fate similar having. No, wouldn't that be unfortunate?" Covert shook his hand and gulped. "Yes, sir, it would be, sir." "Good. I expect good things from you now that you've been able to show me your true potential." "Yes, my lord." Covert said with a graceful bow. "But before I go, is there anything else I could do for you?" Vladimir thought for a moment. While rubbing his chin, he said, "Yes, actually. You could order an iron wagon to take me to Crossroads Station. I've been meaning to visit the dark mines for some time now. I heard that they're coming rather close to finishing Project Iron Hammer, and I wish to see personally how it is coming along." The newly provided captain saluted his emperor once more. "Yes, sir, it shall be done. Is there anything else I may do for you?" "No," Vladimir said, dismissing wave of his hoof. "Just make sure that all I have asked is done." "Very good, sir. I'll let the station and the Iron Wagon know of your orders." The captain said with a bow before trying out to complete the task that was given to him. Vladimir watched as the captain went down the street into the ruined town. While he continued to gaze at the ruins, he felt a same twinge of regret faster outside him, as if he cared for the town in some way. That even though he meant to use the town for his own gain, seeing his current state made him feel sad. Crimson Unicorn didn't know why, but the feeling was still present. I've got to get to Ironhammer. Hopefully, this feeling will go before I leave this forsaken place. He whispered to himself before taking a quick swig of wine from the flask he had. Gee, I wonder if Vladimir is connected to Red Hoof from the previous chapter. Outside the stable, Adam and Neil sat with their backs turned to the now shut entrance of Stable 47. After what had happened to Peptide left them with a feeling of mournful emptiness, it was unnerving. Neil had the oak music box in front of him in his hooves, peering at the details of the box. Al looked down at the small musical box and thought to himself mournfully. The likelihood that little Red, or wherever he might be, of being alive was slim. They themselves were threatened at the very moment they stepped out into the world. They could only imagine what a kid younger than both of them would have to endure. Odds were he was most likely dead, and they both knew that. What are we going to do? Adam asked. Neil sighed heavily. Keep it, I guess. It's the least we can do. Picking up the box with both hooves, Neil put it in his saddlebag. This feels so wrong. Keeping this box makes me feel like I'm robbing an old tomb. Just as the box went into his bag, the hinge keeping his clothes unlatched itself, causing it to open. Out of the box came a layer that was lighted on the powder like dirt. The layer was made with an old steel parchment and sealed by a dried red wax seal. The layer was in front of Adam face up, with the words Little Red written on it. Neil pointed at the layer on the ground before taking the box and resting it next to him. His brother picked it up and inspected it curiously. Both of them stood up, gazing at the mysterious letter that had come from the box. Brother, what do you think it is? Adam asked his brother, holding the letter with one hoof. A letter? It could be anything. Photos, a note, or something else, Neil said, picking up a hoof to take a look at the contents of the letter. Soph was about to touch the letter when suddenly he paused. Adam cocked his head to the side. Are you going to look at it? Neil retracted his hoof, picked up the music box next to him. No, I don't think it's right. Adam nodded in agreement. You're right, he replied, putting the letter in the box and patting it gently. You would be disrespectful, Adam added. Once more, Neil put the box back into his bag. At this time, making sure the latch was properly locked. We should go. The sooner we go, the sooner we can leave Peptide to rest. Adam took one final look at the massive steel structure before joining his brother. Not only that, but we got a long walk ahead of us. That we do. And hopefully, you can find a better place to sleep this time. Maybe there'll be actual beds? Maybe, Adam. Maybe. Neil responded hopefully, with a robotic foreleg around his brother's shoulder, and together they walked down the damp, dark cave, the pit-bug lights glowing against the moist gray walls. Damp and cool was the outside air. A calming breeze blew gently across the ruins of the old roadside town. Both brothers had managed to make their way outside the entertainment hall, back out onto the street. Looking down at their pit-bugs, they found it persistent and followed the marker Cold Blue said would take to the Silver Maid up north. Before they left the roadside town, though, they went to some of the empty buildings to check for supplies. In each building, they found a little something. Sometimes it was just a few bullets, and sometimes it was a single can of food. While it wasn't much, it was something, and that was all that mattered to them. Fortunately, they had enough supplies to last a few days, and with some luck and a little careful resting, they would run out before getting to their destination. But rather than staying in a small town all day, they decided to continue heading north towards Silvermane. As they went across the barren landscape covered in grim, shriveled-up trees, Neil would check the map periodically. By the way things had looked, Silvermane wasn't too far away, and as the day went on, the very thought of Silvermane being so close was rejuvenating. As the hard-rug ground slowly wore their hooves down. In the distance, they could see a long mountain range that stretched across a straight line on the horizon. One or two of the peaks from the mountainous range would scrape the surface of the clouds above. Though, just barely, it was still awing to see such massive, powerful things in the distance. After a few hours of wandering, they found an old dirt road that seemed to head northward. They figured, since it was going in the general direction they were in, it was only fitting they follow it. Not only saved them time, but neither of them would have to continuously look down at their pit bugs to see they're still going the right way. A little ways up the road was a hill, and after trudging up the hill they came to a stop. For a moment, they both decided to rest themselves. Neo and Adam both panted loudly for taking small sips from their canteens. They were resting on their haunches while enjoying the quietness and cooling breeze the day had given them. Neo brought his pit bug close to his face and checked the map. Adam, looks like we're getting there, but I'm not sure how much longer it'll be till we actually get there, Neo said before resting himself down. Well, it can't be that far away, can it? Nah, his brother replied, shaking his head. There's no way it could be farther than another day or so. Good, Blue Coat sighed. It shouldn't be long now. Yep, we're almost there. Finally, this will all be over before. But just before Neo could finish his sentence, an odd noise caught their attention. The sound itself was a whistle echoing the distance. And while it was unclear as to where the noise was coming from, both of them knew it wasn't an average whistle. No, this whistle was more distinct. No sooner had the last whistle been heard, yet another distinct whistle was howling somewhere in the distance. In an attempt to find the sources of the sounds, both brothers frantically started scanning the area around them for the source of the noise. Where is that coming from? Adam asked, standing up, searching around them. More importantly, Neo added, what's making that noise? Once more, the distant whistle howled, only this time it was much closer. With curiosity furiously tugging at them, they decided to look around the hill. As Neo tried over to the other side of the hill, off in the distance he could see a few small structures gathered around what would be like a large back train. Neo squinted his eyes in an attempt to get a better look at the black object in the distance. While he did, one more whistle went off. Adam, I think that noise is coming from a train. Adam froze upon hearing his brother's sentence. A train? Adam stared and remained frozen in place. Yeah, Neo said, raising his hoof over his brow, squinting harder at the distant object. It's not too far away either. I think if we walked over there, we could. So in mid-sentence, he was interrupted by Adam, who soared over to his side, exclaiming, Where? Adam's eyes were wide with excitement as he peered off in the distance. Is that a real train? Like a steam-powered ribbon-bolted ice-flushing train? Yeah, Neo answered, as he looked at his younger brother oddly. Oh my gosh! Adam shouted, with his eyes fixated on the black object. Quickly, Adam checked his pit bug, before returning to his brother with large puppy dog eyes. Brother, it's the direction we need to go. So, can we please go see, please? Ever since I read about the back home when I was young, I was thinking about seeing what I realized. Neo rubbed the back of his neck uneasily. Well, since it is in the direction we're heading, I guess we could take a good look at it. Bet that place has some supplies. We might be able to get some parts for our weapons, and maybe some more water. Adam had a grin that reached from ear to ear. What are we sitting around here for? Let's go. Who knows when I'll leave? Adam declared in excitement, before bolting down towards the hill towards the settlement in the distance. Adam! Neos called out. Wait for me! Together, they both galloped up towards a small group of buildings in the distance. Neo knew inside that while Adam was smart, he was still very much a teenager. And he himself had retracted these same sort of things. While his interest was much more different than his brother's, this world we were living in, this sitting back and being a kid was a rare thing. Neo would want his brother to feel that way. He was just for a little while. Steam hissed howling from the metal machine. Pistons and pressure tubes lined against a huge boiler tank that spanned nearly 20 ponies long. It was an impressive scene. Even if it was stationary, the old pre-war vehicle was truly something to behold. Both brothers stood as the machine's gazing upward at the train. An old wire tower with a tube extended out towards the top of the train, poured water into a boiler tank. While what looked like the train's operator was at the top helping the wire in. 8 wheels, connected by long pistons and long metal pieces, covered each wheel in a complex manner. Adam eyed each section of the train blissfully from where he stood, mouth open in awe and eyes wide with wonder. It's amazing, Adam whispered in total awe. Neo didn't see the appeal of the train. But he still smiled. He was just standing there letting him observe. It was warming to his heart. What did catch his attention was what the train was carrying. Down the tracks, right behind the train, were several train cars. Some of them were old wooden cattle cars. Some were old wooden red passenger cars. What made the matter more interesting was that the ponies were coming out of the passenger cars. However, it was only a few ponies. But the fact of the matter still remained. They were passengers, and they rode on the train. Neil looked around them, hoping there would be some pony who could tell them how to get on. That was, of course, if the train headed north. Next to them was a train platform, one that looked like it was still to be used for civilians before the war. Across from that were three large wooden buildings, each of them being side by side. The building to the far left had on top of it a large multicolored neon sign with the word saloon blazed in different colors. It was just as the second O in the sign didn't seem to be completely lit, as it flickered on and off sporadically. The middle building looked like a casino. It even looked more like an old one, far restoring home. Posters with leads and propaganda, and fine ledgers with the names of tens of different ponies covered the outside walls. Lastly, the building to the far right was a two-story motel. A humble little porch stood out in the front, with ponies peacefully rocking back and forth in old rocking chairs. Though Neo suddenly jumped at the sound of the train's whistle blew loudly next to him, was convinced to ask his brother about riding the train. "Hey, Adam, do you think this train heads north?" Adam stopped to scan the train, and faced his brother, cocking his head to the side. "Huh, I'm not sure, but how cool would it be to actually ride it? I can only imagine how it would be." "Well," Neo said, looking back at the train platform, "let's see if it heads north. We might be able to catch a ride northward." "But how are we going to get on?" "Come on, I have an idea how we might be able to find out," Neo said, making his way to the platform. Adam followed next to his brother closely, while he himself was curious as to what his brother was doing. And as they came out to the platform, they saw a small booth, with a bored-looking unicorn stallion mundanely staring out his cracked window. Next to the booth was a small bell, which Neo rang. In an instant, the booth pony suddenly snapped to attention. Upon seeing the two brothers, returned to his dull expression. "Yeah? What do you want?" the stallion asked monotonously. Yeah. Hi. I was wondering if this train goes north. Does it?" Neo asked. The stallion rolled his eyes. "Yeah, it does. All the way out to Mayton. Where are you two headed?" "We're heading to Silvermane Tower, sir. Will you get us closer there?" Adam asked, resting his toes on the small counter in front of the booth. "Well, I suppose you could just take it to Mayton, and from there get out to Silvermane. The tower's directly north of Mayton, after all." "How far?" Neo asked once again. The stallion only gave him a dull, sleepy expression, while he shook his head out. "It's about 20 miles, maybe." Neo looked down to his brother, who in return looked up at him. "Adam, you think it will work? It could save us time. Mayton is a long way away, and if it was a straight shot from Mayton, this will be our best option." Adam thought about it for a moment and nodded in agreement. "We'll just be heading back to where we started, but at least we'll be close to Silvermane. And with train's help, we'll get there in no time." "You want to ride the train or not?" the pony said so rudely. Neo smiled at his brother and turned back to the booth pony. "Yeah, we're going to ride the train." "You want tickets for you, right?" "Yeah," Neo replied. "Okay, 500 caps, please." Neo's mouth hit the floor in shock. "500 caps?" "Yeah. You got a problem with that?" Neo pounded his hose on the counter in front of him in anger. "Yeah, I got a problem with that. That's 500 caps. That's outrageous." "Is there any way we could get on without having to pay that much?" Adam asked curiously. "Well," the pony growled, "you always get a Legion ticket. Only members of the Legion have them. If you got one, I could let you both get on." Neo rubbed the side of his head, pure frustration. "Do you know where we could get one?" The gray unicorn behind the booth sighed. "Beats me. Just know if you get one, you and your friend, brother," Neo corrected him. "Right, your brother to get on," he finished groggily. "Are you sure there isn't some other way?" Neo insisted. "Listen," Unicorn said, leaning forward. "Either get a Legion ticket, Can't afford the tickets, or one of the train staff, or you ain't getting on. With his tired eyes, he peered at the two brothers with a expecting gaze. I can tell you two don't have any of the three. Seeing that's the case, scram! He said before pulling a black curtain over the window of the booth. Hey! Neo said, knocking on the window furiously. What is it? I told you two to scram! Unicorn said, peeking slightly from outside the curtain. Can you at least tell us when the train leaves? The booth pilot was silent for a moment. Then, with a quick, sleepy tone, he said, leaves in a few hours. Now scram! He said, closing the curtain finally. Thanks for nothing, pal, Neo grunted. Well, what are we going to do now? You can't get on the train, and there isn't much we can do here. Ahmad, well, we can head to that saloon over there. Maybe there's some point you can give us parts to help fix up our weapons. Ever since we left Arcan, our weapons haven't been in the best of shape. That's a good start. But are we going to head back north by hoof after that? Neo sighed. Probably. Looks like a pretty good walk from here. Adam lowered his head so he let out his own sigh. Walking! Yay! So, just after Adam had sighed, they both made their way to the saloon. As the two came up to the saloon, they noticed several carts and wagons parked outside. Along with the carts were several other ponies, leaning lazily against the wall of the saloon under the large, but rather unstable-looking awning of the building. Like most of the saloons he had been to, this one had the same flat doors that parted both brothers entered a drinking establishment. Ponies all sat shadily at several tables, not even bothered with making eye contact with any pony else in the room. This solitary feeling that the two brothers felt was clear, so they thought it was wise to keep to themselves. That way, once they had gotten their weapons repaired, or found a pony who could give them supplies to do it themselves, they could go before the trouble had started, caused or not by them. A recorder at the far room was playing in the corner of the room, eerily playing a song that neither brother heard before. At the opposite end of the room was a dull-looking unicorn bartender, who, for the most part, was completely devoid of life. For those of you who are curious listening to this, it's Everybody Who Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, as heard on Bioshock Infinite. At the opposite end of the room was a dull-looking unicorn bartender, who for the most part was completely devoid of life. Taking very easy but calm footsteps, both brothers went over to the bar counter to speak to the bartender. While he went through the counter, though, Adam noticed something odd about all the ponies in the room. Many of them had mechanical limbs. Whether it be one set of legs or just a single limb, many of them had them. Adam could only glance at their limbs for a few seconds, for the owners of the mechanical limbs would throw him nasty or horrible looks. In response, he would quickly divert his gaze and continue walking with his brother. Neo rested his mechanical foreleg on the counter support him. Hi, he said. The bartender stopped what she was doing and looked at him mundanely. Yeah? What do you want? Jeez, every pony in this town is rude, Neo thought. Instead of frowning, Neo tried a different approach and tried to smile back at her and said, well, we were hoping if there was any pony in this town that could help us repair our gear. She tried to wipe her nose rudely. Oh yeah, she said, pulling out an old clipboard behind the counter. Doesn't all feel tight coming to town. These ponies are what you want to see. And, as she not even spoke to him to begin with, she sluggishly continued cleaning the mugs. Neo's smile died as he looked at the clipboard. Thanks, he said, taking the clipboard. Together, the two found a small little table along the side of the wall, and sat down with the clipboard in front of Neo. Glancing down at the old wooden clipboard, Neo read the names listed. The names that were listed each had the building the pony resided in. Sadly, upon going through the list quickly, no pony specialized in weapons repair in the bar. And those who could lived either farther out of the settlement or were listed as gone. One pony, named DualShock, however, was still in town. Apparently he lived in a house just a half a mile out of the settlement. We might want to go see this guy on the list. His name is DualShock, and he only lives half a mile out, Neo said. Adam pulled the clipboard to him and glanced at it himself. It also says he specialized in mechanical limb repair, too. I know, but who knows how much that costs. I'd be just happy if we could get our weapons parts. They both were talking, though, 2 ponies noisily came into the saloon entrance, with large saddlebags jingling noisily. Both of them had neat slick-back manes and neat black pinstripe jackets, almost identical in look. Both unicorns come parading in with a boastful swagger. Jim, my boy! That fight was not finished yet. Listen to all that money we made. Who heard the sound of being riches music to my ears? Yeah, brother, said the young stallion. In celebration of our success, let me treat you to a drink. Jab said with Grace's brow. Jim shook his head. Oh, no. You couldn't, brother of mine. Let me treat you, I insist. Jab raised a huff in his thought. It seems we're a pickle here, brother of mine. Dan with a flick of his hoof, and beaming smile on his face, he exclaimed, I know! With our new amount of winnings, let's both buy the other drink. How does that sound? Ha ha! You always do what to make the best of deals, brother! Jabs laughed. By now, there was not a single soul in the saloon, not looking at the two overly exuberant stallions. Even if the looks of most of the ponies in the saloon gave the two ponies were quick glances, they had the whole saloon's attention. Neil and Adam turned to them to see who the new newcomers were. As their eyes gained a fix on them, they turned right back to themselves in a quick panic. Neil folded up the collar of his duster to better protect his face from Jim and Jab. Adam did the same for fear of his life. These were the two ponies that managed to mock in front of Iron Horse City. If for some reason he found out they were here, all hell could break loose. And now their brother wanted that. Do you guys even remember that? I mean, that was so long ago! Brother, Adam whispered, are those guys who I think they are? Neil thought stiffly. Yeah, and they won't be happy to find out we're here. You think we sneak out? Maybe. We'll have to be careful about it, Neil replied, expecting two stallions' movements. Looks like we could be celebrating something. If we could just get calmly to the door, we could find this repair pony and get out of here. Adam nodded nervously. Alright, let's try. Without making noise, both brothers pushed their chairs back, crept towards the exit. Each of them tried to make their best to take advantage of the low lying in their room by moving between the other tables carefully. Jim and Jab seemed to overly indulge in their celebration to notice anything but their drinks and each other. And over the loud noise and miry laughter getting out of the saloon became much more simpler than either brother would have thought. When the final steps passed the swinging front doors, the two managed to get out without being noticed. Sighing in relief, both of them felt the cool, dry hair hit their coats. I'm glad he didn't notice us, Neil sighed, humming confidently to calm himself. Adam nodded, feeling his own heart race. Agreed. Neil recovered himself and looked down at his pit buck. Let's just find this dual shot guy and get out of here before Jim and Jab decide coming out for a stroll. Oddly enough, the map of the whole area was loaded onto his pit buck. This has happened everywhere they went. What puzzled him was how he was even able to do so. Then again, it wasn't a huge concern to keep questions to himself. Like the clipboard had said, though, the place Jules shot lived was not that far away, and even half a mile away from where they were, which was good considering the distances they walked before. Both brothers jumped at the sudden sound of Jim and Jab's voices coming closer. Brother, Adam whispered worryingly. I'm with you there. Let's go get to this guy, and quick, Neil replied before trying off his brother towards the place where DualShock lived. Though, just as they were on their way, one thing instantly caught Neil's eye. A pony was hanging a wooden sign on the outside of the arena building. The sign said, in weather white levels, Mech Fuel. First to beat Iron Fist wins one of the following: 100 caps or 2 Legion tickets. A dust cloud formed around Neil's hooves as he slid to a stop facing the sign. How didn't notice his brother's abrupt stopped, but to him head first. Pulling himself back, Adam rubbed his sword head. Brother, why did you stop? Neil seemed dead on that sign. Not even for a collision, Adam didn't seem to bother him. Brother? Adam asked worriedly. Adam, DualShock may have to wait, he said, removing his glance out in front of the sign. Why? What about Jim and Jab? They'll see us, and what about our weapons? Neil looked down at his little brother and pointed to the arena building. That place is giving away 2 Legion tickets. Adam glanced over to the arena building with an unsure look in his eyes. You sure? Usually those kind of things come with a catch or something. Does he remember the last arena we went to? We could at least try. Plus, if we get in there now, Jim and Jab will hopefully pass right by it. I guess we could try. But if things start to look bad, we get out of there. Neil smiled warmly. Okay, I promise. So, on staying out, both made their way to the arena building, where hopefully they could find out more about the tickets that the sign had mentioned. With those tickets, they could easily kill days worth of walking, and it'd lead them much closer to their destination, all the while hoping Jim and Jab wouldn't come their way. A small bell at the corner of the arena's building door chimed violently as both Neo and Adam came inside. The inside was much different than what they were expecting. In fact, it didn't even seem like an arena at all. Rather, the inside was rather small despite its outside appearance. To the right was a counter, with a pony that looked like Ticket that he had counted earlier. Strangely, it looked just as sleep deprived and dull as the booth pony. The rest of the building was filled with small circular tables, only illuminated by small candles at their centers. Like the saloon, a record player playing an oddly slow, rather uneven tune, sung almost unnoticeably by the few who were inside the building. In one corner of the room was a mysterious-looking earth pony mare with an enormous Stetson lowered into the height of face from any who would dare. Though, besides a few other ponies and some of the tables, the entire building was quiet and empty. As if something came down and sucked the very life out of the room. It was at the end of the room that caught the brothers' attention, where two large, luxurious leather seats sat across from one another, only thick made a table as a divide between them. Around these chairs was a rusty old rope post that had strung from one end of the thick rope. Neil stepped up to the counter and placed both forepaws on it. "Hello?" he said to the pony. Lazily, the desk pony side addressed him. "Yeah?" "I noticed you're a sign outside, and I have some questions about the prices." The rather tired looking stallion put one foreleg on the counter and used it to support his head. "Sure, go on." "Okay, first off, how do I sign up?" With the hoof he wasn't using, he pointed to a roster with blank spots for future contestants. Though Neil was a little discouraged by his lack of responsiveness. But he continued to ask his questions anyway. "How much is it to enter? If there's a fee, that is." The dull tone of voice he replied, "100 caps. You lose it all. Your brother's bet on you, you get a kid of the better's money. No point bids, you just get 100. "But if I pay to just get it back, what's the point?" "Hey, winners make their money off of bidders or gambles. If you don't have anything money bidding on you, it's too bad." The attitude of the counter had irritated him. "Are there any bidders today that will be willing to bid on me?" He shrugged at Neo. "I don't know. You tell me. Ever since Jib and Jab came, they've been screwing every contestant with their friend Iron Fist. If you saw the smug fucks prancing around with a bunch of caps, you know why. Today they were up against Rocky. Best four-leg mecker on this side of the Eastern Province. Stupid pricks. I had 70 caps on Rocky." "Well," Neo interjected, "what's a mecker?" The counterpony picked himself up, stared puzzled at Neo with an eyebrow raised. "You telling me you were about to sign up for something you didn't even know about?" Once he said it like that, he did realize how silly the mistake he was going to make was. The pony sniffed and chuckled briefly before continuing on his mundane state. "That's rich, kid. Give you something to that. But those two smug assholes just want a little better go passing around town with my cash." "Anyway, what did you myself? You got a mech?" he asked Neil. "A mech?" He replied. "Yeah, a four-leg that's all tanky and stuff." Neil rolled up his right sleeve to show the camera pony his mechanical limb. "You mean like this?" Quickly, the camera pony peered intriguingly at Neil's mechanical limb, whilst rubbing the scruff of his chin. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Good quality, too. Haven't seen one like that for a while. Even Rocky was all scratched and crap." Neil noticed that while he was showing his foreleg to the camera pony, caught the attention of the mare with the sensor in the counter. Only once he turned to look at her, she quickly averted her gaze from his own, and went back to minding her own business. "I'm rather proud of myself, is it, as I don't see myself?" Adam added. "Here." The pony looked at Adam. "Never seen a kid build one before. Especially one this nice. You two are an old sort. I love that." Neil put his foreleg back down and rolled down his sleeve. "So, what is a four-leg mecker?" With one hoof, the counterpony scratched its orange shaggy mane. Have you ever heard of four-leg wrestling? Yeah. Well, basically it's more extreme version of that. Any opponent who participates in a four-leg wrestling with their mech is considered a four-leg mecher. Neo smiled contentedly. So, I just four-leg wrestle with my four-leg then? Yep. Neo whispered, wiped his brow in relief. Phew. Here I was thinking I was going to fight a huge monster or something again. Yeah, no, that's just crazy, replied the Carum Honey. But anyway, to get those prizes down on the side, we're going to need to beat Iron Fist. Well, that doesn't seem too bad, Neo said. Did you just get here? Neo nodded. Yeah, we did. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, considering how much Iron Fist fought in the ratings. Boo! Thank you. Alright, well, all you need to know is he's one fucking tough cookie. Do you know where I can find him? Well, usually he's with Jib and Jab. I saw him take off towards the inn they were building while they went to the saloon. But I'm sure they're going to regroup, so... That's before he was done speaking to the door to the building. It swung open. The three ponies standing in the doorway. One of the ponies was a huge, gray, earth pony stallion with massive muscles, and an iron fist as his cutie mark. Both his forelegs were massive, bulky mechanical machines, like that of a large construction machine, and at his sides was jib and jab, saddlebags full and signaling merrily. Iron Fist took a loud sniff of air. What is this? The feast thinks are all newcomers, he muttered curiously. Instantly, the two brothers and the Carapony turned their gaze to the new ponies. As soon as both Neo and Al's eyes saw who it was, a deep sense of panic overtook them. Once Jib and Jab had their shining eyes on them too, they knew who they were and smiled deviously. You're correct, Mr. Fist. They are newcomers. Very new indeed, Jib cooed slyly. The three ponies stepped in and closed the door behind them roughly, with Iron Fist giving them a puzzling look. Do you know these two? Iron Fist asked, scratching his head in slight confusion. Both Jib and Jab came up to the two brothers, sliding their shredded forelegs. Why, of course we've met them before. Isn't that right, Jib, old boy? Jib nudged out slightly, retaining his devious smile. Yes, brother of mine. How could I forget these two? After all, the other reason we got thrown out of the city. Ah, crap. Neo thought as they continued to speak. And as they did, Neo could see his brother petrified next to him. And what? Are you two aware of what happened to us when Bloodstrider went to us after that stunt you pulled in the arena? Jib inquired. Before either of the brothers could answer, Jib responded, Of course they don't, dearest brother. They are far too busy with other matters to care about us. But just so you brothers know, Bloodstrider wasn't happy with us. So he kicked us out. For what? For sending you two in that godforsaken arena with little chance of surviving. It was all in the name of business. He didn't see it that way, though. So now we live a life here, with Mr. Fist as our key to a new life out in the commonest land of Ironhoof Providence. Jab finished. Neil felt slightly annoyed by their practices, especially the way they spoke to his brother and him. Shrugging off Jib from his shoulder, he glared negatively at them. As Jib stumbled back for the irritated stallion, he regularly brushed off his clean suit. With a more somber look about him, Jib went back to Iron Fist's side. I'm sure you'll rather enjoy hearing about why we're here, but what puzzles me is why you two are here. Neil was about to speak, and as seeing who Iron Fist really was, the very thought of finding such a beat as him was daunting. Though, it was the counterpoint who spoke up before Neo. This one here is about to sign up to fight Iron Fist. In fact, we were just talking about where they could find him. Where? Jab cheerfully exclaimed, clapping his hands together. You want to see if you can take on Iron Fist, do you? Iron Fist stood proudly, showing off his left foreleg with a few flexes. The feast will accept any challenge at the time, for the feast is always ready. Adam rolled his eyes at the huge pony. That's right, Neo answered quietly. If that's the case then, Jib whispered, then let us take care of the entry fee. We'll get you set up right now. Wouldn't want to keep Mr. Fist waiting, now would we? Neo saw how things were getting. He had promised down that things started to look bad to leave, so he gulped and said, You don't really need to. Actually, Curry, this is about to go, and no, my dear boy, we must insist. Jabber rejected, taking him both by his shoulder and bringing him to the counter. Yes, we highly insist you stay. After all, it would be rude to turn down our generous offer, Jim sneered. I'm sorry, but Neil was rudely interrupted by Jab, who prepared a small bag of calves in one hoof. It's decided. I'm sure you two don't want to donate anything, do you? And frowned at Sally's. No, we don't. We just want to leave. I don't think you wanted to raise anything. Listen, I'm running around between our whitey here and Mr. Fitz, please. Jam announced before putting the bag of calves on the counter forcefully. No wages, just the two. Winner takes the money. Wilson, the counterpony, took the small bag of caps and quickly counted the number of caps inside the bag. Everything seems to be in order. Fantastic! Jim's here, putting a hoof on Iron Fist's shoulder. Wilson put the caps on the counter inside an old box. Good luck, fellas. Celestia speed, kid. Thanks, Neil muttered sarcastically. All the ponies went over to the two luxurious chairs at the end of the room. Alan was by his older brother's side, worrying and looking at him. Brother, do you think you can do this? I guess I could try. Besides, I have a feeling that if we take off, they'll get muscles over there to get us. Then we don't have a choice, do we? Yep. Alan went to the ceiling, whispered to himself. Please keep brother safe. Though, once more he looked at Iron Fist's huge mechanical forelegs, before returning to gaze up at the ceiling. Please keep brother really safe. Jim opened one of the dividing ropes for the two ponies with a wide grin. Up to you, he said in an overly friendly tone. As the ponies came to the metal table, Jab pulled Iron Fist aside. Listen, when you take on this kid, don't hold back. In fact, I'd like you to encourage your forelegs a little more than usual. The muscular stallion seemed puzzled by the order Jab gave him. But the feast just don't understand. The feast makes are undefeated, and that boning is small and... Trying to hurry up the conversation, Jab quietly interjected him. I know that, but these two have a knack for doing things others can't. I don't know why or how, but they do. I saw that first hoof at Iron Horse City, so if you're going to encourage your mech to do better, we'll have to leave you the same way we've harmed you. Is that understood? For a few moments, Iron Fist seemed troubled by Jab's words. A heavy sigh he answered, The feast understands. Good. Jab dived in quietly, taking a screwdriver from his coat. I understand you like to play with those tricks, and until now we didn't need to. But to beat these two, we'll need them. Thus, there's simply any money to be found in playing fair. He said, tightening a red bolt on his right mechanical foreleg. Now go and make us proud! Jab purred, patting Iron Fist on his cheek, before carefully concealing the screwdriver back inside his coat. Neil sat down in the soft leather chairs. His stomach churned and twisted in nervousness, but seemed to be the only way to get those tickets. Even if he just needed one, he could easily sell the other to help pay for even better repairs on the gears. That was, if he could beat Iron Fist. Iron Fist stretched out his right foreleg, making it pop and hiss menacingly. Are you ready, little pony? Deep down inside, Neo knew he wasn't, but he had to try. While it took some effort, he tried to keep a calm look. Yeah, I am, he replied in a somber tone. Jim stood aside of the table and watched eagerly at the two stallions. It seems both your boys are ready, so without further interruption, place your legs on the mix on the table. Both contestants placed their mechanical forelegs on the table. There's a coat! What is your prize? Jab asked. Iron Fist stared at Neo as he answered. The feast requires the basic winnings. And you, son? Jab asked again, leaning towards Neo. Like Iron Fist, Neo kept his gaze on his opponent. I want the two Iron Lazy tickets. Fantastic! Jib exclaimed. Now that we have everything in order, let's begin. Makers, get ready. Neo and Iron Fist raced the right forelegs and locked them, both of them leaning in close, ready to go. Get sit! As we paused, and while the silence was present, fear and anxiety witnessed all seemed to vanish from Neo. But that moment was short-lived, as Jeb said the final word before beginning their match. Go! Al watched nervously, as within a split second, both stallions were now competing. The weight of Iron Fist's foreleg came just as sudden as Jib's start had. Neo could feel the pistons and gears inside his foreleg work fiercely to keep Iron Fist's hoofs back. The more he seemed to fight back, the worse Iron Fist's force his own limbs seemed to be. It was tiring, but then again, it also appeared that Iron Fist was himself was growing tired. This little sign of fatigue was a glimmer of hope for him. If only he could last out a bit longer, he could beat out Iron Fist. Even if Neo himself didn't think he could last much longer, it was only a shot at winning. A shot he was willing to take. Jim and Japs watched uncomfortably at Neo's Iron Fist's current state. While it looked like Neo wasn't doing any better, it still troubled him. So, inconspicuously, Jim nudged Iron Fist's back. And at first, Iron Fist didn't notice. And after a few seconds, it was clear what they wanted him to do. With vigorous force, Iron Fist pushed hard against his opponent, and Neo felt it. The once great weight intensified by 5. What made matters worse for him were the noises his foreleg was making. It wheezed and hissed unnaturally, while the gears cracked and grinded in an unnerving way. With a little more force on his foreleg, he felt something pop. It was just followed by a sharp pain. It was with that his hoof came crashing down to the hard metal surface of the table. Without devious grins, Jim went over to Iron Fist's right foreleg and looked it all for a see. And we have ourselves a winner! Even though Iron Fist had won, his facial expression said otherwise. He looked agitated and angry by his victory. Neo could hardly move his foreleg, and every time he did, a sore feeling, followed by a cringing grinding, could be heard. Jim and Jab both stood at the red ropes with Iron Fist, walking sadly next to him. Brother, are you okay? Adam urgently asked, pressing to his side. Yeah, Neo moaned, closing his foreleg with his hoof. Hard to move it, though. Both the well-suited ponies chuckled merrily to themselves, giving Neo and Adam a gracious fun. It was fun, though. It truly was, the Jab said. But Sunday, it's time for us to depart. With a cheerful swing, they turned towards the exit with their champion, and strode off boastfully. As he went by to counter, Wilson gazed at their wings, before promptly leaving the building whistling. Once they were gone, the building was once again silent, leaving nothing but the soft sound of ponies murmuring to one another about what had just happened. Adam returned to his brother with a worried look in his voice. How hard is it to move? Neo's foreleg hissed and squealed as he tried to get off the table and stand up. It was hard trying to keep his balance, but once he had found a good position to rest his foreleg, he sighed. I can't move it too well, but I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, with forelegs like that, must be able to move mountains. I disagree, Adam said, pulling out some tools from his back. For a moment there, I knew you were going to win. Giggling to the ground, Adam went to work on his foreleg. Did you see him, though? He beat me. There was something going on. I saw Jim put something in his coat after he pulled Iron Fist aside. Neo watched as his brother went to work on the finer workings of his foreleg. Are you saying that they cheated? Adam nodded. Can't say I blame you for thinking that. That's what Jim and Jam are good at. As Adam continued to work, he felt several sharp pains in his foreleg, causing him to flinch. Did you find out what was wrong? With a heavy sigh, Adam backed away from his brother's foreleg. That's great. What? While putting his tools away, Adam explained, well, whatever tension that stallion put on her foreleg really did a number on some of the rotary gears. Not to mention some of the nerve receptors are damaged. Can you fix it? With another sigh, Adam looked down at his brother. Not without the proper pieces. Pulling one hoof for his brother, he took his brother's hoof. Pulling back on his brother's foreleg, Adam managed to help his brother up. And, with his metal foreleg slung around his other brother's shoulder, he managed to help himself up. Neo lowered his head. I'm guessing if we stay here much longer, they'd do something else for a laugh. Those bastards! You're probably right, called a voice from behind him. It was hard to turn around, but with help from his brother, Neo managed to get himself into a good position to see who it was. What? The man with the Stetson got up from a chair and walked over to him. I ever slaves those 2 kings of town. They've been cleaning a lot of us out of our money. No money means makers can't fix themselves. And that's pretty news for money. Both brothers blinked at the mayor. And who are you? Neo replied. The mayor adjusted his Stetson slightly. The name's Dual Shock. I'm the town's local mechanic. Alan was intrigued by her occupation. While they did hear that she worked on repairs, It was interesting to see a pony who worked on repairing mechanical limbs. Adam sits at his brother's foreleg before responding to her. We heard of you. We were hoping to pay you a visit to get our fears fixed. Oh, you wouldn't happen to have a Gearlock Model 67 by any chance? Dilshot came over to Adam and leaned it closely to his older brother's foreleg, inspecting it carefully. When you were so wheelsy your foreleg, you couldn't help but notice how nice it looked. Neil blessed embarrassedly. Thanks. Did you make it yourself? She asked Adam. I'm not. That's right, I did make it. This is the second version, though. I managed to build this one in Ironhoof with vast amounts of supplies he had there. She purred carefully with a smile. Well, you did an awful good job. Well, I could tell that if you had adjusted the pressure systems on the nurse, the reactions would be stronger. Al used his free hoof to face himself. Great! I knew something was off with the pressure. Such a simple fix, too. Well, answer your question, though. Yeah, I do have a Gearlock Model 67. But, whoa. Both Neo and Al's faces lit up, hopefully. We're willing to pay for it. How much are you selling? Billshock tipped her sensei a grin. I'll do it for 40, on one condition. They both nodded at her, but as Neo replied, what is it you need us to do? Lazy to fat arm fist again, and win. Upon hearing what he wanted, both their jaws nearly hit the ground. What? I couldn't beat him last time, even with my foreleg repair. I'm not sure if I could take him on. Listen, she added, I tightened the pressure on his nervous system. That was the reason you lost, but I believe I gave your arm a little extra. Something you could beat him. Wouldn't that be cheating? Adam said. Yeah, it would be. Just hear me out first. Ever since they came to town, they started waving around Legion merger badges, claiming that they were mechers for Legion. I'm not even sure that's a real position, but the Legion soldiers that cover town seem to believe it's real. So they've been prancing around, beating every mecher that comes to town, getting filthy rich on them. What's worse is that without an even amount of mechers, traders won't come to town. Those caravans are the only way I can get my supplies. She sighed heavily before continuing. Police, business here has died since they've been here, and we'll all starve or go broke if we don't do something. The last of my mecha parts, and you two, I believe we can beat them. So how will we beat them? Heard that you want Legion tickets. Well, if you beat them, you get your tickets. The real prize here is their mecha badges. If you convince them to bend them, and you win them, they'll have to leave town. Both brothers thought about it, and after looking around town, they could see how Jim and Jab managed to suck the life out of it. Doing this would get them closer to Silvermane, and in helping themselves, they helped the town. As far as they could see, her plan seemed solid. What do you say? Help a gal out? She asked warmly. Neil looked around at his brother, who returned to look back at him. We'll help you. It's going to be hard to get me around. Don't worry, she said. I'm helping support Neo. Once we get back to my place, I'll be picked up as good as new. The door to Dualshock's home creaked loudly as he entered. Neo limped, while his brother and Dualshock giving him support as he entered him. So I guess you guys could say that this thing is Dualshock supported? Oh, don't look at me like that. These jokes are all I got. This thing is too good. Upon seeing the interior of Dualshock's home, Adam was taken completely aback by everything around him. Mechanical limbs and metal four-leg exoskeletons hung from the beams along the ceiling. And counters and tables were crowded with piles of old tech. From scrap to old functioning terminals, the mare had it all. Even her single bed had some sort of tools or parts on top of it. For Adam, walking into a single-room building was like walking into his own bedroom back at the stable. Here, Dualshock said directly in the chair. We'll rest him here. I'll get my stuff together and help repair your brother's leg. He rested Neil down in the chair with his mechanical foreleg, resting on a clearing on the table. You got a quiet place here, Neil said, looking around. Yeah, it's a chaos, but that's just the way I like it, Dualshock replied, while searching through an old toolbox. Adam looked up in awe at the various blueprints and exoskeletons he had. Thought you said you didn't have pieces or equipment, but look at all this. You have enough parts here to build as many lists as you want. Taking a tool belt, he placed several tools from the toolbox into the belt before answering. Look again. May it look like I got parts to spare, but the fact of the matter is what you see is scrap, or both. Hardly none of his actual mech building equipment I can use or create or repair any finished works. Pulling up a chair on the table, she sat down and began working on Neo's foreleg. I'm really hoping those modifications I make to his mech really take down Iron Fist, she said, opening his mouth foreleg. Those guys really need to be taught a lesson. Wouldn't be the first time, Neo added. DualShock looked at him with a curious look. Oh? Adam cleared a small spot on one of the cameras for himself and said, Back in Ironhoof, there was this arena they worked at. We were just trying to run a small errand for a friend, and they pulled us aside and put us into the arena. I think it was to sell something with a group called Tiger Company or something. Yeah, never heard of that place. Never been to the arena in Ironhoof myself, but I heard a few, if any, do really come out and laugh. DualShock said, taking the Gearlock Model 67 out of her belt. Now that, but I can see why they would put some random pony to the arena. You do not want to piss off Tiger Company. Why's that? Because, she said before pausing to take out the old Gamma's Gearlock of his foreleg. They may be nice guys. They'll let their calm nature or blindness get to you. You piss off even one of them, they'll kill you without hesitation. You'll be gone faster than you can blink. Period. What about Iron Fist? Last time we saw Jim and Jab, he wasn't with them. What I heard was that he was actually some traveling show pony. Did tricks for money, like lift heavy objects and that sort of stuff. He's actually a very nice guy. A little competitive, maybe, but a nice guy. I recalled the way Iron Fist looked at the master Neo had with him. He did look a bit disappointed with himself. Wouldn't blame him. Well, it might be every pony, but he's done so without any aid. Your master's the only time I've seen those weasels take his mechs to win. Neo frowned at the thought of Jim and Shab. All those bastards wanted was to see my leg break. Get a good laugh and see me all busted up. Pulling his socket wrench out of her tool belt, DualShock started tightening his six of his foreleg forcefully. Hey! Could you be a little more gentle? That's my foreleg you're working on! Well, if you two want those kickers, it's gonna have to be a little rough, kiddo! DualShock grunted, tightening a bolt on the inside of his foreleg. She was right. While it did cause him to feel an annoying, dull pain in his arm, he tried to ignore it. Not a kid. I'm a fully grown stallion. Well, okay. I'm almost done. She muttered tiredly while twisting the wrench one last time. With a quick wipe on her brow, she closed up his foreleg. And there! Good as new! This one won't break for sure. And if it does, it must be moving mountains or something. Neo stood up, feeling dull pain slowly fade away. The feeling was odd. His foreleg felt tighter, stronger, and more sensitive to his actions than before. Even with a calm canter, his leg felt new. Wow! Neo cooed in awe, walking around with it. Feeling the smooth and almost noise-free movement made it feel like a new stallion. DualShock herself leaned on the side of her counter, watching and testing the improvements he made with a boastful grin. Like the way it feels? Yeah, Neo smiled, feeling the smoothness of his foreleg. Adam chuckled a little at his brother's reaction to his improvements DualShock had made. It was always nice to see him happy. In the stable, little things like this made Neo as giddy as a foal during Heartswarming Eve, while it made his spirits lit to see his brother happy. Think you're ready to take on Iron Fist? Neo tested the automatic blade in his hoof, like a dream, and unsheathed itself momently before quickly retracting itself. Yeah, I'm ready. Well, let's not keep them laying then. DualShock cheered, trying out towards the door. Both brothers nodded at her and made their way to the door. Adam could tell the improvements he had made to Neo's foreleg would help. Though, it was nice to see his brother happy. Couldn't help but think of what would become of Jim and Jab afterwards. This was their way of life. But then again, it was because of that small settlement suffered. The time for their rematch was coming closer. He needed to be there to support his brother. Even if he felt that inside of him, he was wrong. All of the ponies in the dark, musty saloon were silent, as Jim and Jab laughed exuberantly with full bugs in their hooves. Iron Fist sat quietly between the two overjoyed stallions. Over their table continued to celebrate their victory over Adam and Neo. Iron Fist gently rocked his full mug back and forth with thought, a disgracing feeling of cheating still lingered inside of him. Oh, I just can't get over it, brother of mine. I mean, I would pay double the entry fee just to see those poor saps looking up at us again in defeat. Jim snarled. Why, I believe the blue one was even sinking when we faced the match. Jab's brother added, laughing. Shaking like a young filly? Yeah, man. I dare say, brother! They both stared at each other for a moment, before bursting out into uncontrollable laughter. As they enjoyed their merriment, both of them noticed a lack of enthusiasm from Iron Fist. Buzzing his shoulders shamefully, Jab smiled at the concealed stallion. Why, Mr. Voice, old boy! Whatever does seem to be the matter with you? Aren't you happy you beat those silly kids? You do like a good giant, so what is the matter? It was not the honorable way to break another pony's leg cheating, he muttered in a slow, agitated tone. Both brothers chuckled at his response. Honorable, my boy, when you're in this business, honorable is not a word you would even have in your vocabulary. Chap snickered. Maybe we should leave this town be. The Fist thinks he might be done fighting. Huh, Chip glared at him. We won't leave. This place is a gold mine. Besides, until you get beat, we own you. Or would you rather go back to struggling to find a job? Using cars, working at gang control mines for days to end on the ring. Is that what you want? That's right, Mr. Fist. We have you under a contract. Chap added in a threatening tone. Oh, what is it? I can't help but feel like I've heard about this character before. Somebody's a fan of the Princess Bride! Iron Fist didn't reply. Instead, he thought about what it would be like if he went back to the way things were before he met him. Was life on the road entertaining the others that bad? Not waiting for another second for a response, give a Jab pat on the back. That's right, we're your friends. As long as you're with us, you don't have to worry about anything. Both of them said in unison. A sudden boom at the entrance of the saloon caught their attention. With all eyes on the entrance, bright light from the outside flooded the inside of the normally dark saloon. In the blinding light stood three figures, close together, with an imitating aurora around them. Chad pushed his hair aside and stood up in puzzled awe at the 3 ponies at the entrance. Severing the billing, the 3 ponies at the saloon's doorway came into the room. Their faces now visible with the closing of the flapping doors. Once Jib and Jab saw their faces, the cocky grins they had before returned. Ah, did you come back for another serving? Jib sneered. Wrapping his foreleg around his brother, Jab added, oh, what is this? You brought DualShock as well? Ha! That's nothing compared to our motion controls. Ow! Maybe she fixed them up at those parts she didn't have. Maybe she wants to bet on us. I don't know. There's no pony within or outside the province that can beat Iron Fist. Is that right, brother of mine? Well said. I say well said. Chap laughed. DualShock stunk right up to their laughing faces, fury raising her eyes. No thanks to you two, I've got little to no business. Both of the slick stallions averted their gaze on their own, and admired the silver cufflinks on their clean prince-striped coats. Well, be that may be, but you and that sad excuse of a Brown brothers over there are for a reason. After that rather dramatic utterance, you must be here for something, Jab just replied curiously. That question, dearest brother of mine, is what they want, Jab added. We want a rematch, Neo demanded. A rematch? Both of the stallions chuckled to each other in unison. Well, I do think you want to know something of cold humiliation. Jab started with a snicker. While still inspecting his cuffs, Jib added, it would seem so. Though, if they want a rematch, you'll have to pay to enter. We're not feeling as jealous as we were earlier today. Fair enough, Neo answered. Jib pranced over to Iron Fist, who was still sitting, smacked his back robustly. Seeing as that all is arranged, we'll meet you at the Mech building in, say, 30 minutes. Just so Mr. Fist can warm up before the match. Neo glared bitterly at Jib and Jab, but simply stared back at him with smug grins. Without saying anything back to either of them, Neo turned back to the entrance and tried off a DualShock following behind him. Before Adam followed DualShock and his brother, though, he saw Iron Fist sit grimly looking back at him. He recalled what DualShock had said about Iron Fist's honor. It was clear that ever since that match, Jim and Jab's cheating had really offended him. So, like his brother, he said nothing and made his way to the door. The doors closed calmly once Adam had left the saloon, and with the Sly brothers alone with their champion, the smug gray fins faded to sour frowns. Apparently, one time wasn't enough of them, Jim growled. This time we'll make sure his leg starts in two. Not even that stupid bitch can fix it. Jab continued. So, Jim said with a smile, putting a screwdriver in his dress coat pocket. Let's just make sure that's what happens. Coming over to Iron Fist with screwdriver and hoof, Tip took Iron Fist's right foreleg and prepared to tighten it. As it was about to begin, Iron Fist pulled himself away slightly from Jib. Jib smiled uneasily at him. Now, you ask, remember? If we say fight, you fight. If we say win, Tip stepped behind Iron Fist and pushed it gently back towards his barrier. You win, he finished. If we want you to stop this naked too, you'll do so without question. After all, my boy, Jim cooed out, starting to tighten the tension belts. You do love challenges, and you'll beat that sad excuse for a mecha. You will win. The arena building creaked loudly as the howling wind outside caused the building to shift. For the corner where DualShock had sat before, while all three of them waited, Neil was becoming more and more anxious waiting inside. He tapped himself rapidly on the old weathered table as they waited. Looking down at his pit buttons, Neil sighed. It's been 30 minutes. Where are they?
Maybe you changed their minds?
Adam answered. I knew they were dishonest, but I never thought they'd lie about not showing up. He did seem rather enthusiastic about showing up. I even paid for the mats already. Jill chuckled back in her chair, put her Stetson over her face. They'll show up, she yawned. Adam felt warm inside the building. And then he thought of a cool breeze compelled him to get up from his seat. Looking inside, the was more like distressed entirely.
Brother, I think I might go outside for a few minutes. Let the cool air wake me up.
Neil instantly sat up, looking at his brother with concern. Adam, are you sure? They haven't shown up yet, and Adam gave a reassuring smile.
I'll be fine. Besides, if he'll show up in a few minutes, he can join me.
Relaxing himself back in his chair, he still kept a concerned look about him. I'll trust your judgment, and if they don't show up in a few minutes, we'll leave. It'll be sad we're going to have to walk the whole way there.
I'll see you in a few minutes, brother,
Adam said, turning himself to the door. Neil rested his foreleg lazily against the table. I'll stay with DualShock then. Upon hearing the end of the sentence, DualShock began to snore loudly. Neil cringed slightly at the coarse noise of her snoring. Though as he continued snoring like this, might as well head out sooner. Adam laughed briefly before making his way outside. When he was opening the door, though, he could instantly tell the difference between the air inside and the air outside. It was cool and crisp, and while the dust in the air was still present, Adam grew used to it. Not like this, but the arena inside the building was like breathing heavy, thick earth. Outside was significantly clearer. Taking a deep, refreshing breath of air, Adam sat down and glanced at the enormous white train from across from them. The scene still fascinated him. Just the sheer thought of how it worked boggled his mind. It's nice, yeah? A low yet calming voice spoke to him next to him. The mysterious voice caught him off guard, causing him to flinch in sudden panic. What? Adam replied, seeing who had spoke to him. And there, sending no merit to Mare's life away from him, was Iron Fist, alone. The train! It's nice, no? Iron Fist asked, raising an eyebrow. Adam was baffled by his presence. Yet, there he stood, right next to him. But neither Jim or Jab were anywhere seen.
Yeah, it's nice, but where's Jim and Jab?
Iron Fist looked back towards Slim and frowned. They wanted to drink some victory drinks before coming. They'll be here soon. And I came very early, so how do I see this? Take a break from them.
You think that tough?
Adam asked, slightly over Iron Fist. Yeah, he sighed sadly. Iron Fist looked puzzled at Adam Saxon.
Come on, sit down with me,
Adam said in a friendly tone, patting the spot next to him. First, the stallion hesitated. With careful motions, he took the spot next to Adam, who compared to him was all 4 times smaller than himself.
You look sad. What's the matter?
Adam asked. Iron Fist twiddled his massive iron host nervously. Well, I like a good chance, but when I'm forced to cheat, dishonors my name. As a mecha performer, I'm just a stallion.
I know they did something to make your foreleg stronger to beat my brother last time. Is that what they're doing again?
Yeah, look for yourself, Iron Fist said, showing him the huge pressure tubes on his 4 legs. With his other hoof, Adam tried moving around. However, as he tried, the metal tubes didn't seem to move. Oh, that's rocks. The pressure has turned up, so I now have more power.
Have you seen it before?
He shook his head, hanging his head low. No. Before I fight your brother, I beat my opponents with my strength. Instead, they are desperate to win, though. They told me to break your brother's leg this time.
But you can't break his leg! It's my brother! I've already seen it snapped once! I looked down for a moment, remembering, I don't want to see that happen again.
I don't want to break his leg, though, Iron Fist said.
Then don't. Only you can choose what to do.
They are my whole side. If I don't win, I go back to struggling to get back.
But are you happy now? Doing your dirty work so you can live happily?
I need to be beat to break my contract, and no pony's been able to do that.
I looked up, with a hopeful glint in his eyes. But are you happy now?
No, he sighed.
I heard that before you were a mecher, you were a heavy lifting performer. Is that true?
Yeah, I did at one point, and it was glorious.
Iron Fist stood up and remembered, back before Jib and Jab. It was back in time. Even the sounds of the ponies cheering could be heard as he thought back.
Ponies clapped their hooves to see me to do the impossible, to lift great carts in the air, flip over large objects with the greatest of ease. They would cheer. Oh, how would they cheer?
All he could remember was enchanting. And so he finished his moon became summer once more. Sitting down on a wooden porch he sighed,
I was loved, though it came at a price. I mainly got tips with ponies, no real money. So it was hard to get by. I did get by, but it was hard.
But, Adam cooed, you were happy, right? Iron Fist looked down at Adam and gave a small smile.
I guess I was happy.
You don't have to live like this. You can go to Ironhoof, or some towns to perform.
Looking down at his large, metal hoofs, he thought hard about what he said. These hooves were made for performing, not mecking. Could I make it in the city?
Adam smiled up again and patted one of his massive forelegs. Bad things happen, because we choose not to do anything about them. But when we choose to do something about these things, we can be happy we made sure they didn't happen.
Thank you, small pony. Your words warmed the feast.
You're welcome, Adam said, rubbing the back of his neck with a smile.
And what do we have here?
A sluggish voice called to the two. It was Jib and Jab, forelegs slung over both their shoulders with huge goofy grins on their faces. One thing caught Adam's eye, though, was their uneasy swaying.
Well, I do say, dearest brother of mine, that...
Pause for a moment to burp.
Listen, this has come first.
As usual, Jab had.
That's a good boy. Having his process by showing early. Well, we've had our fun. Now let's go and win this thing.
Jab mumbled. Adam and Iron Fist followed to the arena building, all the while making sure to keep a fair distance from Jib and Jab, who swayed and stumbled jaggedly. As soon as he had entered, Neil stood up and tapped Joel's shock on the shoulder to wake her. Starting panic, she woke up, just barely catching herself from falling before her chair as she shot up. She scanned the area around her. It took no more than a few seconds to spot Jib and Jab, stumbling and shuffling their way over to him. Just as they made their way to Joel, Shock, and Neo, they paused. Both of the drunken stallions glanced over at the ponies in the corner, quickly directing their attention to Wilson.
Listen, my boy,
Jim muttered before leaning against the car.
Do these ponies pay already?
With a dull nod, he remained silent.
Excellent,
Jab exclaimed. Jab looked at his bear, goofy smile froze on his face.
Dearest brother, I'm feeling lucky today, eh? Are you?
Jab had the exact same dumbfounded smile as Bear's head.
Yes, I am, brother mine.
Basically, he twirled his back to Wilson.
Can we still place bets?
Like before, Wilson did not forego a reply, but instead, entirely nodded at him.
Good,
Jib purred in a drunken slur. With a single hoof, Jib fisted and clumsy around his saddlebag. The way both brothers had acted was bewildering. Even Iron Fist, who had been with them with days, completely taken aback by their drunken behavior. In an instant, Jib howled with glee as a single hoof as he pulled a rather large bags of cap from his bag. Forcefully dropping the bag on the counter, Jib and his brother stepped back.
200!
The smell of alcohol in them was strong, and it lingered in Wilson's nostrils. Leaving himself in front of his face, Wilson leaned closer to collect the cash that Jib and Jab wanted to bet.
Is that all you're gonna bet?
Adam remembered what Joel Shaw had said about their badges. He said in that moment he could possibly get them a bit of. Say, Adam said in a friendly tone, those badges look nice. Maybe you could bet those too. Guess not really. In the drunken state, their senses were dull, and the idea to them sounded good. They both nodded to each other, and taking each of their badges off their clothes and replacing them on the counter. These two, deciding if I am old. Wilson gave the two Stanleys a troubled stare, as if the very sight of the behavior bothered him. Alright, if you two are willing to bet those two. Remember, kids, drink responsibly. This PSA brought to you by Speedster Studios. Using one hoof, Wilson slid the badges into the box and held the bag of caps on a hoof, feeling the weight of the caps inside. As before, he did not say anything after taking the money. Rather, he motioned his head for them to continue to the mecha table to go around the crowd. They bowed, Ho still slung over the other's shoulder, as they proceeded to the mecha table. Let's get this over with, Jim grumbled. Don't worry, but am I, when the cats are biased around. How about that? Was dumb job, Jim smiled. Oh, you're too much, he ended with a brief giggle. Jill Shock looked at the crimson rope, and one by one, each pony stood around the square table. Neo and Iron Fist both stared intensely at each other, as they made their way to the chairs. Without breaking eye contact, they sat down. Jill Shock stood at the table's side, while checking both sides quickly. Jim and Jab let go of each other and went to Iron Fist. Both brothers took one of Iron Fist's sides, both of them leaning their heads closely to his own, almost to the point Iron Fist could feel their breathing. Jim chuckled, whispered in his ear, Remember, we owe you. And we say you win, and you will, Jab fast. With a few gentle pats on his huge mechanical forelegs, they pulled away and watched. Are the condenses ready? Gilshark asked. She looked at Neo, who nodded in response. You ready? She asked Iron Fist. First, he didn't notice her question, for things that Jib and Jab had said to him rattled, festered, and bothered his mind. Hi, you ready? She tried asking once more. Taking his head to clear his mind, Iron Fist nodded. Yeah, the feast is ready. Gilshark raised her hoof in the air. When I say go, you may start. Ready? Both Neo and Iron Fist placed their right forelegs on the table. Ready? Say it! Looking them together in an upright position, they continued to concentrate on the other. Alan leaned next to his brother's ears and whispered reassuringly to him, You can do it, brother. I know you can. Neo gulped, not giving a response. Sweat running down his brows, the tension grew. Iron Fist was equally nervous, though Neo didn't know why. After all, he was bigger, bulkier, tougher than him. What reason was there to be nervous? Quickly waving her hoof in the air, DualShock shouted, Go! Instantly, all thoughts evacuated his mind. It took less than a second for Iron Fist to react. Like before, the sound of tightening metal, the pressure of gears could be heard. What was surprising to Neo was how much easier it seemed to resist Iron Fist. Turned out those modifications DualShock did to his foreleg really did help. This way, lasting longer than the mask would make me simple. Finally, he felt like he could win for sure. Neo could hear his brother cursing comments to himself as the match went on. Already he could feel the strain of Iron Fist's forceful push tire him. Iron Fist was in thought as the match went on. You could see Jib and Jab greedily rubbing their hose to the corner of his eye, just sneering and hiccuping to themselves as they imagined seeing Neo's foreleg snap in half. As Iron Fist was thinking, the threats he made to him earlier rang clearly. We own you. You win. If we say fight, you fight. We say win, you win. He closed his eyes and grit his teeth, feeling his threats become strength. Neo grunted loudly as his foreleg creaked noisily. Inch by inch, Neo's foreleg moved to the right, trying his best to retaliate Iron Fist, who decided to open his eyes. The first thing he saw when he did was Adam, the sad, worried look he had for his brother. And suddenly, the words Adam said to him could be heard. Those kind of things told him about on the ports. And the thoughts of ponies cheering for his spectacular performances flashed before him. In this instant, he knew what needed to be done. So, with a relaxing sigh, he let go of all the power he had in his foreleg. Instantly, Neo could feel the difference in pressure. It took the moment to react. Quickly, Neo put all the force he could muster into one push. Closing his eyes, Neo gave it all he had. For seconds, he felt metal hit metal, followed by a loud bang from the table's surface. One eye at a time, Neo carefully opened his eyes to see what had happened. Down the table, with both their mechanical forelegs locked, was something that surprised him. Every pony in the room watched speechless at the sight in front of them. for it was Neo's foreleg that rested on top of Iron Fist. At first, Dilshock found it hard to speak. As he sat there, though, thinking in what was in front of her, she smiled. It was joyous of words, she exclaimed, "That's it, folks! We got a winner!" Neo chuckled briefly at the warming sensation of contentment inside him. Adam rushed over to his brother and hugged him tightly. "You did it, brother! You did it!" Adam shouted, lifting his brother out of his chair only for a moment. Out of his chair, Neo stood there, as Adam let him go before patting his older brother on the back a few times. Like Adam, Dilshock tipped her sensitive to him with a smile, before giving him a few pats of her own. Neo grinned, deferring his attention to Jib and Jab, who stared wide-eyed, jaws hanging low from their heads. Iron Fist turned around in his chair, with one foreleg resting on the back of the chair, a mocking smirk on his face. "But how? I mean, what?" Jib and Jab muttered together. "Hey," Dilshock laughed, stepping towards them on a cocky, victorious sneer. "Well, boys, looks like you're not having such a good day after, wouldn't you say?" She finished mockingly, batting her eyelashes to him. Phrase started to consume the two brothers.
Mr. Fist, take these three out of here. Show what happens when you don't mess with us.
Jab burst into a drunken rage.
Do it! Get them out of here!
Jab snapped, shouting. Everybody in the room did nothing, whilst the two panted and breathed profusely in complete rage. Both were shaking in anger. Their neatly slicked black manes now frazzled and wild, their coats now loose and uneven. Both now confused stallions stared back at the four ponies in contempt.
Well, do it! We own you!
Jib desperately added. Standing up from his chair, Iron Fist cracked his nest.
The Fist does not take orders from you anymore. You didn't notice. Your badges are gone.
Instantly, the two brothers patted themselves down, in panic looking for their badges, only to find nothing.
But,
Bill stammered.
we have a contract!
Jab screamed in desperation. His massive foreleg thumped ferociously as he came closer to Jib and Jab. With his step he took, Jib and Jab's ears flattened, bodies low to the ground, walked up to the massive stallion, who in return looked down at them menacingly.
In an irritating snort, he grunted, Not anymore. I lost. My contract with you is kaput.
Stomping his hose on the ground, he stared deeply into their frightened eyes.
Go, now,
he growled. Like frightened eyes, dogs, they stumbled and tripped over each other on their way to the door. With alcohol still in the systems, their tumbling seemed more clumsy.
I don't come back, you bastards!
Dilshock called to them as the two stallions slammed the door behind them. Dilshock chuckled.
Once here, police here that those two are gone, life's gonna start right back up here. Just wait and see.
Neither Neil or Adam could hold back their smiles. The very thought of making the train town a better place was uplifting. Even Adam could see that Iron Fist was at peace, because now he no longer had to worry about being controlled by them. He was free of their greedy, dishonorable way of life. However, from the corner of his eye, Neo saw Wilson groggily walk towards him with a bag in his hoof, two rectangular metal plates in his mouth. His tired, dark eyes looked down. Neo blinked down, took those metal plates from his mouth. Wilson wooed himself for a moment before replying,
Also, please. Not only earn the money, but those 200 bits, those two bid, and those badges. Congratulations.
The bag was heavy as he gave it to Neo. Thanks, he grunted.
Whatever.
Wilson moaned, going back to his counter. Putting the bag of badges on the ground, Neo glanced down at the tickets he had on the other hoof. Adam, though, was more than eager to see them. He moved his face closer to the two metal tickets his brother held with excited eyes. Adam's excitement was so strong that the sound of him screaming with joy could almost be heard. "Are we gonna?" Adam whispered to Adam before looking at his brother. With a kind smile, Neo nodded at him. Adam didn't even say a word in response. The very thought of riding an actual train was overwhelming to him. Dilshock chuckled at Al. You know, I don't think I've ever seen someone get so excited about getting tickets before. As we referred to nothing to hide away his embarrassed blush. Can't help it. Treats fascinate me. Iron Fist himself let a few chortles get by. Looked down contentedly at the small earth pony that had helped him earlier. Without his kind words, he wouldn't have had the motivation to deny Jib and Jab.
Once again, small pony, The feast is grateful for your words.
And playfully nudged Iron Fist's huge forelegs. No problem.
But what will you do with the caps and those badges too?
He asked. Neil put the badges inside the bag of caps, and picked them up with one hoof, looking to his brother. Adam, what do you think we should do with all this? Adam took the bag from his brother and held it. Felt the weight of hundreds of caps move and shift as he held it. I think you deserve this, he said, placing the bag in front of Iron Fist. The huge stallion was taken back by the gesture. Great as of ease, he heaved the bag from the ground.
You want the feast to have this?
Yeah, Adam answered. I'll help you get started.
Iron Fist shook his head. No. The feast cannot take this. Your brother wanted it, not me.
We're fine as it is, Neil replied.
We got what we wanted.
Adam stepped up to the massive stallion. Trying the best he could, Adam stood up on his hind legs to reach the bag the stallion had his hoof. Putting one of his hooves on the bag, Adam smiled at Iron Fist. Like my brother said, we got what we wanted. Now you can have what you want.
Thank you, small brony. I will not forget this.
Adam got back onto all fours and stepped back. Outside the building, the train whistle blew loudly. Though inside the arena, the building was muffled. The sound was still audible. The sound had made Adam and Neil look towards the door. What do those two whistles mean? Neil asked. If I remember correctly, Research's going to depart soon, Adam asked, slightly worried. Well? DualShock muttered, but headed towards the door. You need those wait so you can miss the train. Come on, get on it before it takes off! After he said that, the group bolted off towards the door, leaving Wilson alone in the arena building. As the silhouette shut, the tire party slashed over the corner, sighing to himself.
I gotta get put aside and tell boys to shut the door softly before more lunatic ponies come through the light.
Steam from the train hissed and twisted the cool air whimsically before fading away completely. All four ponies saw leads of workers dressed as dark green chess pieces, bearing the leases insignia, prepared to train for departure. The small booth at the depot was now open, with a dull-looking ticket pony drowsily humming a low, depressing tune to himself. Neil and his brother approached the booth enthusiastically, one ticket ready. Neil placed both photos on a small counter in the booth's window, laying the ticket booth down in front of them. It took a second for the sleepy pony to notice, the way he did. First thing the booth pony did was give a sour brow.
Didn't I tell you to beat it?
He grumbled. Neil puts the ticket counter close to him. Yeah, but this time it's different.
Oh?
The booth pony huffed. Something the most energetic he had all day.
How so?
Neil pointed to the ticket counter. We got a ticket. Lazily, the pony's eyes looked down where Neil was pointing. Like he said, there on the counter was a ticket.
Good. Got something productive today. I'm glad you're not here to waste my time again.
Neither Neil nor Adam approved of his foul behavior. But again, they would never have to see him again. Sluggishly, he took the ticket and put it under the rather odd machine with a drill. Once the ticket was underneath the drill, the booth pony pressed the orange button and started the machine. With a loud metallic screech, the drill went straight through the small metal ticket, making a hole in it. However, he brought the drill once more to get another hole in it. Where he did so, he paused for a moment and returned to Neo. There's two passengers, right? He asked, the drill loudly roaring. Neo nodded back to the booth pony, who, on seeing Neo's response, proceeded to drill a second hole in the ticket. Since the second hole was done, press the orange button once more, stopping the machine. While as he paced, he gave the ticket back to Neo. Both brothers stood there and for a second looked at the holes he had made in the ticket. Puzzled out the most, as he had read about ponies using paper tickets, never metal.
Rubby all?
The pony asked. Yeah, thanks, Neo replied calmly. Now beat it. The pony responded, closing the booth curtain again. A little shocked at Iron Fist approaching them with welcoming looks. Did you put the holes in them? She asked. Yeah. Neo said, turning his head back slightly to the booth. Only, he could have been less rude about it. DualShock shrugged. Hey, don't worry about him. And so Dave, Pound. The train's whistle blew twice, just before the pony near the passenger car got out.
5 minutes till departure. Everybody on.
Iron Fist returned to his car only for a moment before speaking. I guess that means it's all time to go. Neo nodded his head. Guess this is goodbye. Shock tipped her head at the two brothers. Real fun. Just so you guys ever need something, stop on by. I'm not going anywhere, so don't hesitate, you hear? Phil smiled at her. Don't worry, we'll be sure to do so, Neo replied. Iron Fist stepped up next, smiling. And I won't forget what you've done today. Any speed, he gulped out of his forelegs a powerful hug. Surprisingly, Adam found it easier to breathe in Iron Fist's hugs, as opposed to his brother, who was usually left breathless. If you need anything, small bony or older bony, just ask the feast. I'll be sure to ask you right away if I can. Adam grunted inside his powerful hug. Let go of Adam. Iron Fist patted him on the shoulder, sporting an embarrassing grin. Behind him, the conductor probably called out once more to the group. Any and all passengers must be aboard the train. Last call for passengers. Looks like this is our cue, Neo said, making his way to the screen. A door to the passenger train was wide open. A small set of stairs leading up into the car. Cutter stood at the very last step, waiting for the two brothers to climb on. Cutter Pony, dressed in a dark green lazy uniform, pointed at the two ponies in front of him. You two ready to get on? With Adam by his side, Neo held out the ticket for the conductor. Glancing down to the ticket he held, the pony inspected the holes quickly before nodding in satisfaction. Everything seems to be in order, he said, moving up the stairs. Once more he called out to the platform. Last call for departure. And after a few moments, he saw that no other ponies seemed to want to get on the train. So, believing his work to be done, he moved back into the car. Standing up to the first step, he stood in the entryway of the train car. On the entryway were two dull brass railings. Both brothers held on to it, looking back at the ponies they had met. Grabbing the brass rails tightly, they waved one last time for the passenger car. Two loud whistles blew clearly. As the sound of steam hissing could be heard, suddenly the jar jerked forward for a moment before gradually moving forward. As the car started moving slowly, both brothers watched as second by second their friends became farther and farther from them. They waited until the train fully left the platform. Halting their way, they both stepped to the side of the train and took their seat. The interior of the train car was just like Adam had imagined it. One ceilings with brass railings above the brown cushioned seats were meant to hold the luggage, while oak-framed windows sat next to each seat in the car. Dimly lit lamps above them shook and jingled as the train continued to gain speed. Oddly, it seemed there were no other passengers on the train. The whole car itself could hold 20 or 40 ponies at most. It was just them. So one thing did distract him. For a while, everything was just as they'd seen in his books. Everything seemed worn, scratched, or chipped. Then again, that was somewhat to be expected. Taking the seat near the center of the car, the two brothers looked out the window at the passing world. It all seemed different to them. The column rocking in the car, objects close to it dashed by, while the larger objects in the distance slowly moved by them. The feeling was calmly. It reminded them of their first time in Lucy's wagon. Because that sense of moment gave them a feeling they were that much closer to finding their mother. And with the train's help, they come that closer to Silvermane, bringing them much closer to their goal. All they could do, looking out in the world from the window, was smile hopefully, because this was it. It wouldn't be long until their quest was at an end. Guys, we still got about 10 or 12 chapters left? I don't think so. Footnote. Level up. New perk. I can swing my sword. With modifications done to your magical foreleg, you can now do extra damage when using it in combat. Plus 5 damage and 15% receiving critical hits during combat. Would you like to level up Adam as well? Footnote. Level up. New perk. What comes around, comes around. When using a melee weapon, if you miss the target with a swing, you have a chance of a critical strike on the next. Plus 15% receiving a critical hit if you miss the target on the first swing.